You're listening to Funky DJ 101. All funky hits all the time. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully and welcome back to Fahrenheit as we continue Tyler's wonderful day. As he goes to work, is late, doesn't seem to get reprimanded for that despite that fact, so, a very lax police force by the looks of things. Well, I mean, then again, I'm not really too sure how police detectives are really sort of scheduled, but, I don't know, I guess maybe he's beholden to his partner? No, whatever. Artistic license, I suppose. Continuing antics that will no doubt get Tyler in trouble. Or maybe he was ratted out by a certain person who has it in for him. Like this geekoid.
Hey, Tyler, what do you know? Just the guy I was looking for. Oh, shit. You remember that $100 I loaned you about 6 months ago? I'd really like for you to get that back to me as soon as possible. Like maybe now, for example?
Jeffrey, don't tell me you're prepared to ruin a beautiful friendship for $100 lousy.
This may surprise you, but yes. So give up the cash before I start to get really angry.
Yo, let me make you a deal. I'll play you a game of b-ball for your $100. If you win, I'll give you $200 right then. But if you lose, we cool.
You'll give me $200 if I win.
You got my word, man.
All right, you're on. But don't even think about not paying me if you lose, because that...
Don't worry, Jeffrey. I'll come by and see you when I get 5 minutes.
And then I'm gonna open a can of whoop-ass on your $5 ass. Okay, I promise we'll keep those sort of, ebonic remarks to a minimum. Because, yeah, that could probably get you in trouble in today's day and age. But, yeah, either way, Jeffrey, he doesn't really know what he's in for. Tyler, as we can no doubt tell by his desk, is adept at basketball. Jeffrey, on the other hand, is not. Truly, we will prove that white men cannot indeed jump. Well, then again, we can't actually jump in this game either, so not even black men can jump. White and black, we're all the same. Truly, we are, in fact, brothers from another mother. Brother. But yeah, play around with the basketball, regain some mental health points, and pretty much do a lot of the same things you were doing with Carla. Check your emails, get a drink of water, grab a coffee, whatever's your poison, and you'll pretty much have a chill thing to do, really. Carla's pretty much the only person who really gets the whole Kirsten file thing, so when it comes to what Tyler's really sort of doing, yeah, if you just want to progress on with the plot, you pretty much just go outside, talk to Garrett, and then he'll pretty much give you the skinny on, well, pretty much everything that you found at the restaurant. And if you missed anything important, by which I mean you only found the bare minimum, he will bring up items that you would have otherwise missed. So again, if you didn't find the William Shakespeare book, Garrett will bring that up, and, you know, then you pretty much have the whole conversation of, well, this guy must be educated, we gotta find out where he gets his books, dude! And again, so on and so forth. You get similar things as to what Carla and Lucas had with Tyler's personalized feed. And again, you do also get updates as the game goes on. Whenever you get to check your computer, you get to learn about the weather, the snowfall, as will be pointed out multiple times as it starts to get a little bit heavier. Heavy snowfall, frozen rain, and yeah, something about David Cage games, and weather patterns. I mean, at least it was up until Beyond Two Souls kind of derailed that train wreck, but it was a fun trend for the 2 games that we had it. Very clever there. I mean, you know what, again, for as much churlish mockery as I am usually making about these sorts of games, one thing I kind of will give Quantic Dreams in terms of the graphical engine is that they do actually kind of show, you know, articles of clothing sort of going off and on the model. In Fahrenheit, they tend to hide it a little bit more, but again, I do like it when games actually show clothes, you know, sort of interacting with the models as opposed to it just sort of going to a black screen and then cutting to and fro. Heavy Rain actually does this a fair bit as well, which is quite snazzy. But yeah, either way, it's a fun little detail that I always enjoy seeing. It kind of makes the gameplay seem a little bit more seamless as opposed to artificial. And I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's something that you don't really see a lot of even these days, you know, with games sort of striving for, you know, fucking hyperpixel 4K Ultra HD realism, and yet everybody still walks around and talks stock still like it's a fucking PS2 model, so yeah, we advance in some ways and advance a bit less in other ways, really.
So, the murderer was definitely at that table.
I don't know. But I mean, again, to kind of talk about like facial animation and models and, you know, mocaps and all that kind of thing, yeah, Fahrenheit is still a pretty good looking game in that aspect. Like, again, everything in terms of cinematography looks nice, and even in facial animation, like, again, it's rudimentary, but it works just as well. And to kind of talk about, you know, games these days, like, I mean, facial animation, I feel, is still the one thing that they haven't really mastered. Like, I mean, even, like, in some of the more high-powered graphic engines, like, you know, Resident Evil or whatever, again, when you look at the face, when you see, like, the sort of tension and release, contraction of muscles and all that sort of thing, particularly around the facial area, like, with the mouth movements and everything, it still feels very janky, really, as they try and mimic real mouth movement, but it seems a bit over-exaggerated in a few aspects. Like, in the sense of, I mean, it's not cartoony or anything, it's just more in the sense that it sort of exaggerates what people's mouths actually move like, compared to in the real world, when you have, like, more precise muscle control over what your mouth is sort of flapping. It's kind of weird, but I'm sure you've probably seen people talking in the real world to know what I'm talking about. And here we get the sadistic choice. By which I mean we can select one of these 3 playable characters to choose their scenario, in which we pretty much have to play through them anyway, so not that it really matters. It's, again, it's not like an Enter the Matrix situation where you get one story the whole way through, obviously, but yeah, speaking of muscle contraction and medical terminology gone bandy, here we get an autopsy, an autospy, alien autospy, antivirus software for 2005. Actually, I'm trying to remember, was autospy actually a antivirus software? That might be where I'm remembering the name from. I don't really remember.
If you prefer, you can wait outside.
I'd rather stay.
By the way, that's a very odd...
I've studied some medicine.
Is that even a haircut, really? It looks like he's just got, like, one splodge of brown hair on his head. I don't know, maybe his thinning hair and his baldness pattern is kind of just a bit throwing me off, really, but... yeah, more gameplay, revolving around the Simon system. Basically, you match the colours to, well, whatever flashes on screen. And, yeah, by doing so, Carla gains some mental health points as she gains insight into, well, basically what limited medical knowledge her training allows her. Basically, the end result of this is that you get some mental health points, fail these and you pretty much lose some. So, yeah, Carla really puts a lot of great pride in her work. But in any case, so this is pretty much sort of there to give you an idea of the attack that, well, Lucas was possessed to sort of play out. And in turn, will sort of help you answer a few questions as you pick different dialogue options, well, based upon the results here, really. Again, you still get the dialogue choices that you'll be seeing towards the end of here anyway, so nothing really changes that much. It's just a means of sort of, you know, keeping your mental health topped up and, well, really sort of getting an idea as to what the hell was going on around here, and how exactly this gentleman passed away. Particularly by having a certain ritualistic, carving ritual done to his heart. Oh dear, his heart.
One stab, neatly cut the aorta. And the other 2 cut the left and right coronary arteries. Oh, he really didn't have a chance. The blade slipped right through the ribs to cut the arteries.
It was definitely the knife wounds that caused his death?
Yes. The 3 arteries leading to the heart were cut. The heart was literally disconnected from the rest of the body.
Do you think the killer had some knowledge of anatomy?
It's not impossible, but I doubt that someone who understood human anatomy would do this. You'd really have to be deranged to want to provoke a slow and agonizing death in this manner. I saw a case like this once before. It was a while back now, in the 90s, I think. Exactly the same. 3 stabs around the heart, each one cutting a main artery. It really struck me at the time. I wondered how such a thing were possible. It was the, what was that name again? Karsten or Kirsten, something like that.
Kirsten.
Yes, that's it, Kirsten. You know about that case?
Not yet. I'm sure as hell gonna find out.
Oh yeah, we're ready. But it appears Lucas isn't ready as, yeah, he's currently having a bit of a bad day and puking up whatever's left of his lunch that day into the toilet bowl. That's pleasant.
I was burning with fever. I was shaking all over. The migraine was back and
drilling holes into my brain. And to top it off, I couldn't keep any food down. My body seemed to be fighting against something, but I still didn't know what.
Poor Lucas. This game really doesn't treat him well. And I mean, even for the good ending that you do get with this game, as we try and drown out the stench of vomit with urine. I'm sure that's an extra pleasant smell to go on top of everything. But yeah, just pretty much tries to go back to work and treat it as if it's a normal day here, really. But yeah, one little bit of an oopsie-daisy that I ended up making is that, yeah, you might remember seeing, Tyler's whole thing where you could do a little section as him, pretty much getting the composite sketch of, the waitress that we saw at the diner, basically asking her a few questions, and you get like a little computer composite sketch where you can pretty much match facial details to try and get it to match as close to Lucas as possible, or if you want to aid and abet in Lucas's escape, pretty much have a go a wee bit too lally. I do apologize for not capturing this segment in the commentary. I don't know what the hell happened to the footage, but, you know what, I think it's better that I keep it off-screen for now, because I do remember the option that I did choose for this, and, well, let's just say it's, you'll be in for a treat. If you think the game is a little bit too pole-faced and serious so far, don't worry, the game does has its sense of levity and fun. Just, well, in the meantime, though, I'll keep you in suspense as to what Lucas's face truly looks like. According to that waitress, with all her, "Oh God, I was so scared by that murdering guy. Oh, just my luck to be the only goyle in this diner, and the one he didn't kill." Then yeah, this is the bank where Lucas works. He doesn't work in a cubicle or anything, but, you know, he does seem to have a pretty high-paying job, so, yeah, seems to be doing fairly alright here, really. Incidentally, I'm also getting a lot of flashbacks to the Matrix path of Neo, where Neo had to escape his own, you know, computer IT job. Though I am curious, do areas like this still exist, anymore? I don't know, I mean, I'd imagine these sorts of, well, I suppose maybe if you're working for a major company, I suppose, or a banker specifically, but... yeah, I don't know, the whole idea of, like, working in cubicles, working a bit of a 9-to-5 seems like a bit of an antiquated notion in the day and age of, well, I mean, specifically in the day and age nowadays, we have, you know, AI slowly rolling in and taking over these sort of functions from actual working people. That's a little bit too much of a hachi-machi topic to really touch upon for a commentary like this, but, yeah, in turn, like, I mean, you would have thought most people probably would have done this sort of thing from home, or, you know, I mean, anything post-COVID, really. I mean, I think in terms of timeline, this is supposed to take place around, like, 2009 to sort of explain the slight discrepancies of why this looks part 2000s-ish, part futuristic. I don't really know what to say, but in the meantime, though, let's take a look at this. A bug next to a computer. This can only mean trouble. But yeah, this bank also seems to do rather big business. New York, Tokyo, all sorts of different places where money is exchanged. And of course you talk to bankers all over the world who are no doubt very good with calculations. I'm sure none of it's illegally funneled or going towards any ill-gotten gains. That'd be stupid to think about. Oh, I'm sad now.
I'm in charge of computer maintenance in the Nacer & Jones Bank. I share my office with Warren.
Who, as you'll soon come to learn, has a very suspiciously similar voice actor to Jeffrey. In fact, kind of speaking of voice actors actually, you're gonna find that a lot of them have very suspiciously similar tones, and that also David Cage games also like to reuse actors. A bit of a fun fact I want to bring up right now actually is that, yeah, Lucas and Tyler, they share the same voice actor, David Gassman. I'm pretty sure he's a very pasty white dude, so that was also a bit of a surprise really to learn that he was the voice of, yeah, both Lucas and Tyler. Pulls it off rather well without sounding stereotypically Ebonic, so yeah, it's quite an interesting feat. Incidentally though, I swear to God that the guy who voices Warren, as you're going to be hearing right here, is
That guy is so bizarre. He gives me the creeps.
What'd you say?
What?
You were saying something?
No, I didn't say anything. Are you sure you're all right, Lucas?
I heard something, as though I could read his mind.
How interesting, as we find another extra life. But yeah, the guy who voices Warren here also voices like the shady motel dude from Heavy Rain. You know, the guy that's Madison Page, 27, single.
Tiffany and I. About 2 years ago, I guess. I haven't been able to throw it away yet.
Lost love. Although, really, when you sort of get into it, you do begin to wonder why exactly Lucas and Tiffany broke up, but that'll be for a bit later.
Lucas? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Lucas Kane.
Hello, Lucas.
Oh, hello, Tiffany.
I left a message on your machine last night. I'd like to come and pick up some stuff at your place. Could I come over tonight?
I should be back home around 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay, it won't take too long. Are you doing okay, Lucas?
I gotta let you go. I'm doing a thing here. Bye. Look out, the cop!
Lucas? Is there a problem?
No, I just thought... It seemed so real. I saw that coffee cup fall.
Hello? Yes, sir. We'll get on that right away. Station 62 is down. I'll go.
No, forget it. I'll handle it.
Whatever you say.
It happened. Just like I'd seen it. Like the cop in the apartment. Is it possible that I can really see things before they happen?
Yeah, I do apologize for the long, brief period of silence, but again, there was a lot of interesting plot shenanigans and, well, spookiness abound, which I do kind of want to capture in the commentary. But, yeah, I mean, it's all about a bit of a light touch. You really sort of want to see the game as it flows and, well, take a bit of a light safecracker approach to the whole thing. In the meantime, though, yeah, tracking down this little officer we need to get to was entirely what this whole Metal Gear Solid mini-map thing is really sort of leading us to. But yeah, needless to say, since Lucas is starting to see psychic flashes, yeah, it is a bit of a point of contention as to whether or not this is a bit of a recent thing or something that might have been awakened within him. I'm gonna say awakened within him, given the whole supernatural stuff where the game begins, but you do see that he has been dealing this quite frequently. I mean, Portera demonstratum, but I mean, by that same token, I'm meaning that he's been dealing with this all throughout his life, and we are going to be getting flashbacks to the young Lucas, when he was handsome and clean, and didn't drink caffeine. Mainly because he didn't order that coffee in the diner. It was there before he even got there. So who ordered it? I wonder, dear boy. But yeah, in the meantime, you pretty much just need to find the, the cubicle with a bug inside it. And, let's just say, yeah, if you thought the game was weird up to this point, it's about to get a whole lot worse. And you might have already had a prelude to it. Thus far. Oh my god, bugs! Ewy, squishy, grossy bugs! And, you might be thinking that this might have some sort of significance a bit later on. These bugs never explained in the plot whatsoever. Why are they here? Why are they haunting Lucas? Are they hallucinations created by the game's main antagonist? I don't think so. I mean, if they are, it's a very odd choice of enemy to hunt him down with. Also not very conspicuous, although then again, as you're going to be seeing a little bit later, these are, well, related to Lucas's psychic abilities, so, yeah. Citation needed, game development fuckiness Yeah. That's pretty much all you really need to know. Game development fuckery, that didn't really have time to sort of expunge upon this. If it was even going to at all, it really just sort of seems to be weirdness for weirdness' sake. But it is an example as to why I do like Fahrenheit. It plays itself dead serious. But by that same token, it also has a lot of weirdness that you just sort of expect it to roll with. And again, while it's not exactly perfect in terms of narrative flow and structure, I'm at least entertained by what I'm seeing, so there's that, I suppose. Oh no, we failed. But yeah, it's here where the lives come in. Basically, you get a chance to replay this sequence again. If you lose a life, replay a sequence. And that's pretty much where the extra lives come in terms of, well, what Lucas has to do in order to dodge out of the way. I do believe, again, depending on which difficulty modes you're playing with, some of the prompts are a little bit more or less forgiving based upon, you know, what sort of prompts you're using. Again, on hard mode, I don't think you get any leeway, so miss one, you're pretty much fucked every which way and sideways. Easy mode, I think you might get a little bit more leeway, and, yeah, normal mode, as we're playing right here. Either or, really. Yeah, I think you can make, like, 1 or 2 mistakes, but apart from that, you're pretty much going to be screwed. But luckily for Lucas, you can shoot the breeze at him. Yes, eat CO2 fire extinguishers. Truly a bug's worst enemy. By the way, fire extinguishers do not run out that quickly. I know this, because I have been trained in fire safety. Haha! But yeah, this sequence is pretty much all filmed and motion captured, so again, in terms of like actually interacting with the environment, it's pretty much a case of, Dragon Slayer, really. I had to remember the name of the game for a minute, but, yeah, that's pretty much all it is. You might get 1 or 2 animations of, you sort of failing here, really, but that's pretty much it, and, yeah, you're pretty much fucked, so it doesn't matter whether or not you get all those quick time event prompts, and, yeah, you're pretty much screwed, so let's see what this dude has to say.
Two faces of the same serpent. One in our world, the other in the other world. Woe to he who sees both sides of the snake.
No!
Lucas? Lucas, what happened? Did you hear me? Are you alright? Hey, you've hurt yourself. You're bleeding.
I gotta go. I didn't have the slightest idea what had happened. The one thing I do know, those things almost killed me.